So we are in the Lent season as we are walking our way towards Easter, towards resurrection, and we are in a series called Crossroads. And let's give it up for Pastor George, who took us to Luke 15 last week. And so this week, we will go back to Luke 15, and I'm going to read verses 31 through 32 to you. It'll be on the screen, but if you have a Bible, I'd love for you to go there with me and to get that scripture marked out. And in Luke 15, verses 31 through 32, it says, come on, my screen is not going to cooperate. Here we go. We're good. It says, son, he said to him, you are always with me, and everything I have is yours. But we had to celebrate and rejoice because this brother of yours was dead and is alive again. He is lost and is found. And so I'm just going to piggyback off of Pastor George's title last week, The Lost Sons, but we're going to call this part 2, and will you be there? Will you be there? And my bottom line is this: God throws lost and found parties. Will you be there? Will you be there? And so how many of you notice that you can grow up in the same house? Kids can grow up in the same house with the same parents, but they so different. They can experience the same things. They can have, they can go on the same trips, get the same rules, eat the same food, do everything, whether it be a 2-parent home or a single-parent home. But if there's multiple kids in the house, they have completely different hearts. Anyone notice that? I got 4. I can tell you it's true. I grew up in a single-parent home with 3 of us, and me and my sisters sometimes feel like we're aliens. Like we same mom, same philosophy, same everything, but we're just so different. And there's a comedian named Ali Sadiq who has a special called My Two Sons. And in it, he tells the story of raising 2 boys who couldn't be more different. And it's funny because he calls his 2 sons, he calls them my old son and my new son, right? And so his new son is calm and steady, does what he's supposed to, but he does like the finer things in life. The other, his old son, as he calls him, he's wild, he's hard-headed, always testing boundaries, and goes out of his way to make things harder than it has to be. Anybody got any kids that just seem like they have to make life harder than it has to be? While your other kids seem to be like, no, I'm just going to get in where I fit in right here. This is a good flow. But the other one got you praying in tongues and taking your blood pressure all at the same time because they stressful for no reason. It's no reason, it seems. For those of you who don't have kids yet, just say thank you, Jesus, right now. You ain't got no kids. But it's the same father, the same house, the same love, but 2 completely different responses. And the crazy thing is, it's easy to point out and pray for the rebellious one, because they're usually the loud one. So everybody knows the rebellious one, but sometimes the greater danger is the one who isn't the one who runs away, but it's the one who stays, the quiet one, but yet that one slowly disconnects. There's something about the quiet one. They always say, watch the quiet ones. Because they ain't saying much, but they thinking a lot. They taking in a lot, processing a lot. And it's not always the one who runs away because that's loud, but it's the one who stays but disconnects. The one who looks good on the outside, says the right things, gets the right grades, does everything right, but on the inside, something is off. It's easy to talk about the rebellious brother, like Pastor George talked about him last week. It's easy to talk about the prodigal son, the one who squandered his father's wealth, the one who the younger son, the immature one, the one who sleeps with prostitutes and all that. It's easy to talk about that guy. And you may not have never slept with a prostitute, but some of us see that kind of recklessness within ourselves. So we connect to that one, and everybody cries at being the one that the father goes after. the reckless love of God chasing me down. And we cry because he's running after me. But how come most people don't fess up to being the brother who stays? Oh, you're not talking to me. How come few people see themselves in the brother? Because there's two sons in this parable that we're talking about. How come most people don't see themselves in the brother who stays? The one who stayed, but when his brother came back, he didn't celebrate. How come nobody wants to be that guy? No one signs up to be that person. So my question is, God throws these parties, but will you be there? It's a good question. So part 2 of we talked about a couple weeks ago when we started this series, we said that Jesus is on his way to the cross. He has set his face towards Jerusalem. So Luke 15 starts off the second half of the journey to Jerusalem, the journey towards destiny, right? Because Luke got 24 chapters. And so in Luke 9, Jesus starts this journey, but we still got a lot of chapters to go before we get to the actual crucifixion and resurrection. So Luke 15 starts the second half of this journey. And Jesus addresses these topics on his way to the cross. He has a lot of divine appointments, and he addresses issues of eternal life, the theme of reversal, and the character of God. And these 3 parables that he teaches in Luke 15 have to do with the character of God. And the reason why he talks about the character of God is because he's asked a question. I just don't know. I don't know about you, but if you don't want to know, don't ask Jesus. Because some of us think we got it all together. Some of us think we want to know. And then when we ask him, then we're like, I guess I really didn't want to know. I didn't really want to know. I'm better off in my own ignorance and my own little lofty thoughts, because when I ask him and he tells me the truth, I don't like that. So the reason why he tells these parables is not, I guess this too, don't ask a question and then don't complain. Because there was no question asked here, but there were a lot of complaints made. In the Old Testament, the word complaining is murmuring. There's these murmurings going on. And it was the murmurings going on in the camp of Israel that kept them out of the promised land. Because God says, how long am I going to put up with you stiff-necked and stubborn people? If I go with you, like I said before in a sermon, if we keep going down this road trip, I'm going to get in that back seat. And you don't want me to get in that back seat. You better get some act right on you, right? And so this is one of those correction moments, because Jesus is asked this question by religious leaders, by these Pharisees and these scribes. And what they say is, why does Jesus eat with tax collectors and sinners? Because they were coming to him. And so they say, why does he eat with them? Why does he welcome them? Why does this rabbi, who's supposed to be this prophet, this man of God who says he is God, why does he eat with such detestable people? Because we like to pick and choose who we want to eat with and all that, but for them, sharing a table with somebody was a very intimate thing. And so the fact that Jesus was sharing the table with tax collectors who stole money from their own people and sinners, that would mean anybody else who was out there living a non-religious life, why would this man of God eat with them, welcome them? And so Jesus tells these parables, right? And so just to give you a quick overview or review, he tells one parable about a shepherd. Parable is a story with a spiritual emphasis, sometimes made plain or sometimes hidden. It all depends on the heart posture of the one listening. Will you receive the spiritual truth? Will you seek out the spiritual truth? Or will your heart be hardened to the spiritual truth? Therefore, the spiritual truth is hidden from you. That's why Jesus told parables, right? So one parable was about a shepherd leaving the 99 found sheep to go after one lost sheep. Another was about a woman who had 10 coins and lost one coin in her house. And she lit a lamp. She swept her house and searched carefully until she found it. I mean, women, when they lose something, they go all out to find it. Come on. She lit a lamp. She swept her house. She searched carefully, and she found it. And then he tells the final story is a father who had 2 sons, one who became lost but is now found. In each parable, they end in celebration, mirroring the heavenly celebration for when one sinner repents and turns to God. And in these parables, the shepherd is God. Here's one that'll catch you. The housewife is God. And the father is God. It's not about gender, it's about characteristics. I'm just trying to help somebody right there. Because Jesus tells a story knowing that in all these parables, he's talking about the one who goes after the lost. Because you want to know why I eat with sinners. You want to know why I eat with tax collectors. That's because the Father sent me to go after his lost stuff. Come on. So in the parable of the lost sons, the younger brother is the sheep that leaves and gets lost. The older brother is the coin that stays in the house but gets lost in the house. So both parables are already leading up to the ones about these two sons. He just wants you to be able to find yourself because, hey, shepherds, supposed to go after their lost sheep, right? If you got money, if you got 10 coins, you lose one, you want to go get your money. But what about these sons who are not objects, not dumb animals, but have a will, have a desire, can choose to do what they want to do? What about them? The younger son is the lost sheep who knows better but strays away anyway. And the coin is the son who stays, but he gets lost in the house. Anybody ever been lost in the house? The parables combine to tell a story of God's divine pursuit and divine persistence in sending Jesus after his lost things. Divine pursuit and divine persistence is the character of the Father. He'll go after you because he's persistent. He pursues you. I'm going to get ahead of myself here, but here's what I want to say, and do not put the point up because I'm going to come back to it, but I'm going to say it right now anyway. Stop saying you found God. That's going to make me stand up. It's going to make me stand up. Because I felt the resistance in the room. Because in your perfect world, in your life, you decided when you got ready to go to God. But this parable right here tells us that nobody in their right mind or in their wrong mind comes to God. It is God who pursues you. It is God who is wooing you. It is God who's going after you. It is all by his grace that you find yourself even thinking about God, because on your worst day and on your best day, you ain't ever thinking about God. So when we start off telling our testimonies, stop saying, when I found God. When God found me, I was broke, busted, and disgusted. When God found me, I was addicted to pornography. When God found me, I was running away from him. When God found me, I was destroying my life. When God found me, he picked me up. When God found me, he turned me around. When God found me, he placed my feet on solid ground. So when we go into our testimony services, wherever that may be, make sure it doesn't start off when I found God. Make sure you tell them about when God found you. That was just to help somebody out. His divine pursuit, his divine love, his divine persistence, going after you. But here's what I want to tell you. Because we're not talking about the younger brother. We're talking about the older brother who got lost in the house. So the first thing I want to tell us is this: beware older brother syndrome. Beware older brother syndrome. Let's go. Luke 15:25-27 says it like this. Now his older son was in the field. As he came near the house, he heard music and dancing. So he summoned one of the servants, questioning what these things meant. Your brother is here, he told him, and your father has slaughtered the fattened calf because he has him back safe and sound. So the brother was in the field. So the older brother is out doing his thing, right? He's out working, doing what he does. But what Jesus is doing here is he's walked down the parables to a point where now he wants the Pharisees and he wants his hearers and his readers to find the Pharisees in his story. Because the lost sheep, the Pharisees, they were supposed to be the shepherd going after lost things on behalf of God, but they weren't, right? So God is the perfect shepherd, the good shepherd. They should be the woman looking for a lost coin because they should be going after God's lost stuff, but they're not. So God's the perfect housewife going after the lost things. And now he says, okay, so I got these two brothers. Here, Pharisees, see, find yourself. Find yourself in the text because you're not Jesus. You're not this father either, because the fact that the father gave the younger son his inheritance, for most of these readers, it would have offended them anyway. Because what kind of Jewish Middle Eastern father is going to put up with such an arrogant, spoiled son? Because what he was essentially telling his father is, you're taking too long to die, so give me my inheritance now. That's what he told him. Because he knew he had an inheritance coming. But I don't want it when you die, because that's going to. And so this younger son is about 18, 20 years old, somewhere in there. He doesn't have a wife because he didn't take a wife with him. He didn't do anything like that, right? And so this older brother is probably only a few more years older than him. So the older brother should know better. Older implies someone who has lived longer, is mature, experienced, and seasoned, and should know the Father's heart because they were here first. But older can also refer to someone who is outdated, boring, disconnected, or overfamiliar. Can you become too familiar with God that you become old and stale and outdated and you don't even know it? Because notice this, the Pharisees are in the same place as the sinners and the tax collectors. They're in the same location, the same place. They're close enough to see who Jesus is eating with. And note, the Pharisees are not the ones eating with Jesus. The older brother is at home, but he's in the field. So the field is spatial distance between he and the Father. Remember, he got lost in the house. The field is part of the property. He has proximity to the Father, but he don't know the Father. The Pharisees are close to Jesus, but they're rarely ever the ones in Scripture breaking bread with Jesus. And this is how the brother, what he's doing is working. So he thinks that because I work for the Father, that puts me in good standing with the Father. Have you confused your religious works for the Father with a relationship with the Father? Because the first thing, if I want to know where you are, if I ask you how's it going reading your Bible? Oh, well, it's just like, it's just, Pastor, how's your prayer life? Oh, God, prayer, how you spell that? Prayer, But I give to the poor people. I showed up for the work day. Hey, they need me. They came. I volunteered. I'm doing those things. How's your time just being with Jesus? When's the last time you heard him just say, I love you, daughter, I love you, son? Does God talk like that? When's the last time you weren't worried about your output, that you can just receive as a son or a daughter of God? Do you refuse your religious works for God with relationship with God? Some of you know Pastor Ray Wilson. He used to be a pastor here on staff. He's transitioned on to Silverton. But I talk to his grandson Dex every now and then. And one of the things that he shared with me about his grandfather is just his continued love and joy for the Lord. And what you may not know about Pastor Ray is that Pastor Ray is in a wheelchair now from a severe stroke I believe he had years ago. But he still prays, he still worships, and you know what he can't do? He can't do any of the religious things that we consider as being as needed to be in relationship with God. So what my point is, when you can't do anything but lay on your back, does God still love you? When you can't go and win and make and bring home the bacon anymore, will she still love you? Do you still provide something even if you're not the breadwinner in your home? Is it my works that give me value, or is it who I am that give me value? Oh, y'all not talking to me. Y'all not talking to me. Because most of us would say, as long as I'm doing something, I have value. That's why you didn't find God. Because none of us bring value to God. He brings the value to us. So I said, beware older brother syndrome. What is that? Older brother syndrome, one pastor theologian says it like this. It's a condition where someone is externally faithful but internally fractured. It is when faithfulness on the outside turns into frustration on the inside. It's where one has proximity to the Father but no intimacy. You serve God, but you're disconnected from his heart. Do you or someone you know suffer from older brother syndrome? I tried to use my best commercial voice, but I guess it didn't work. This is why I tell us as a church, we got to be careful thinking that confusing being around the things of God as actually being with God. So when I say that a lot of times, though, some people get offended by that, like, oh, I come to church. Church is all. No, man, stop faking it and just come to church. Be the church. Be a representative of God in the earth outside of the church. Stop coming to church. We live in the least churched place in America, the Pacific Northwest. We don't need a bunch of fake churchgoers. We need real Christians, real people out here for Jesus to change a region, to break the darkness and the spiritual strongholds that are over this region. All the stuff that the Christians complain about because the Christians aren't moving out darkness by being light in a dark place. Stop faking it. Start living it. Oh, I know, right? I know it's harder to do it. It's easier to talk about it. You're not deep when you talk about it. You're deep when you do it. Man, I almost didn't preach today because I was, feeling real sick. But some of y'all like, I wish you were sick still. Like, so older brother syndrome, right? So older brother syndrome shows up in a refusal to celebrate others. Luke 15:28-30 says, then he became angry and he didn't want to go in. So his father came out and pleaded with him. But he replied to his father, look, I have been slaving for you. Look at the language. Look, I've been slaving many years for you, and I've never disobeyed your orders. That's cap right there. That's lies. He just never got caught for disobeying them orders. Come on. But anyway, when you got older brother syndrome, you like to make yourself look good and all that. So, I've been slaving many years for you. I've never disobeyed your orders. You never gave me a goat so that I could celebrate with my friends. But when this son of yours came, who has devoured your assets with prostitutes, first off, how does he know that my man's been with prostitutes? Was he there? Maybe that's what he would have done if he had the chance. Ooh, because older brothers like to project. I don't know if you know, but when you have older brother syndrome, it's not what someone's actually has done. You project on them what you would do if you were them. Oh, how he know? How he know? Was he there? No, he wasn't there. And the scriptures don't tell us. The Bible does say he squandered it in wild living, but we don't know what that wild living was. My man ended up broke. That sounds like too many parties, yes. But did they have to include prostitutes? We don't know. Oh, y'all not talking to me. So I'm just going to talk so at this church over here, we just like to really keep it real. And we teach what the Bible says. The word prostitutes is right there, so don't get tight. I didn't make that up. He has devoured your assets with prostitutes, and you slaughtered the fattened calf for him. Instead of the older brother being happy that his little brother has come home, he's angry because his father is throwing him a party, again showing the older brother's disconnect from the father's heart. And then he creates more distance, showing you that he's on the outside where, oh man, the older brother who was on the inside is now on the outside, and the little brother who was on the outside is now on the inside. You see the reversal there. And instead of checking his heart, instead of actually trying to understand the father, the older brother creates more distance. He creates more distance because he says, one, he refuses to go into the party. Two, he doesn't even greet his father properly. He starts by talking with him and he says, look. And then three, he refuses to call his brother, but refers to him as this son of yours. So on every level where he could make amends to get connected, he makes more and more and more distance between his father and the family. When God reveals stuff to you, when other people get something you think you should get, do you make more of a gap between you and the Father? By complaining and murmuring because you've been so good, you've been so holy, you ain't cussed nobody out in 2 weeks. So now you think you deserve something, you deserve the promotion because you've been at work on time 2 months in a row, and now they should promote you. You've been working there 5 years. And now you show up to work 2 months in a row trying to get a promotion, and somebody should promote you when you've been late every other day for 5 years. But now they owe you something because you just started doing your job. Does someone owe you something when you do your job? Jesus said it like this one time in a story. He talks about when servants serve, do they get a thank you? Jesus a cold boy. I'm telling you, if y'all don't want to know, don't ask Jesus. He said when servants serve, should they get a thank you? Because the son didn't say he was a son. He said he was a slave. So if you're a slave, then you don't get no thank you because you're just doing your job. Oh, y'all not talking to me. Woo. And it also shows us that there are some brothers and sisters that some older brothers would not prefer to be in the family. Because we don't call them brothers and sisters, we call them God's children over there. They from the same father. He done grown up with this boy his whole life. All of a sudden, he's this son of yours, not my brother. Wow. The older brother grounds his identity in his performance rather than being a son. I'm enslaving, never disobeyed. His self-righteous, self-directed focus would not allow him to celebrate his brother because he himself has never been celebrated. So in essence, what he's saying to his father is, yo, you giving him the fatted calf, meaning you celebrating him with the dinner at Ruth Chris, and you ain't never bought me Arby's. I want beef too, but I can't even get the roast beef Arby's sandwich. But here's what the older brother can't see. Here's what the older brother can't see. And those of us who suffer from older brother syndrome, here's what we often miss too, is this. Stay with me now. Hopefully this makes sense. What he can't see, because he did not leave the house, is that he didn't have to go through what his younger brother went through. Sometimes the grace is that you did stay. Because if you stay in the house, if you stay in the father's house, then you don't experience what the brother who went astray experienced. He didn't experience the famine. He didn't experience being hungry to where he desired to have pig's food. He didn't desire the loneliness. He didn't experience the loneliness. He didn't experience being taken advantage of by someone who underpaid him and overworked him. He didn't experience that because he actually did stay in the Father's house. The protection that comes from living right is for you. Oh. In other words, when we break God's commands break us. So if you've never been broken by God's commands, that's reward enough. Oh, that's... For those of you who do live a righteous life and you've never experienced what some other people experience because you have been living and doing the things that God has asked you to do, that is reward enough, because there are some of us who have been broken in ways that we wish we never were broken because we stepped outside. And so sometimes you just got to say, thank you, Lord. Thank you that you've never been homeless before. Thank you that you've never been drug addicted before. Thank you that you've never been abused before. Just thank him that you've never experienced the other things that people have experienced. We should not be ashamed of our testimonies, our stories. We don't all come from the same places, though we may come from similar places. We shouldn't be afraid of what we've been through, and we should not be ashamed of what we've been through, and we should not be ashamed of what we haven't been through. Oh. Trying to help you. That is the beauty of the family of God, because we can learn from one another, and we can be grateful for the things that we've overcome, and we can be grateful for the things we've never had to experience, and we can be grateful for where you are today, because when you tell your story when some of you tell your stories, you should not be here. You should be dead. You should be locked up. You should be gone. No, you should be forgotten. There's nothing in you that should want to be in church right now because of everything else that's calling you right now. But see, if you're uberly religious, you just missed what I said, because you've never been through it. But for the one who's been through it, you're like, I wish I didn't go through some of this stuff. I wish I had listened when they said, the fire's hot. Oh, it's hot. I wish I had listened when they said it was just hot. Older brother never was broken by the commands because he never broke them. Jesus said it like this one time too. He said, those who have been forgiven much, love much. And those who have been forgiven little, love little. He said that to a Pharisee, someone suffering from older brother syndrome. Come on, worship team. Here's the last one. I preached it earlier, but I want to land the plane here right now. And it says this: no one finds God. God finds us. No one finds God. God finds us. These parables, this parable is not really about the brothers. It's really about the father. I think it's a good parenting parable. Probably a lesson I'm going to be pondering over the next few, whatever. But the fact that the father, he's not offended by either son. So now, if you're a parent, I would say this. I would say at least look at it through this lens. How often do your children, whether they be old or young, do something and then you take it personal? How often do they start drowning and they start getting themselves in trouble, and then you make it about what didn't I do for you that has you doing all this stuff? Wait a minute. The father in this text does not take either son's actions, free will, personal. You wish I was dead? Cool. You want your inheritance now? Here you go. You want to leave the house? You're an adult. Go do that thing. You want to come back, though? Because that's where some of us get stuck. Oh, yeah, you can leave. But if you want to come back. I guess you're going to need me before I need you. And when the son came back, What was the younger son doing coming back? Rehearsing. All right, his heart, even though he was off, there was something at work in him that made him say, I'll try to go home again. And there was something in the brother that stayed that was also off, but it made him say, you don't even care about me. You don't even appreciate all I do around here. He left, I stayed. You celebrate him like he stayed and I left. And here's what the father says. He says, son, he said, you are always with me. And everything I have is yours. Don't miss that. Son, not servant. You are always with me. And everything I have is yours. Why? Because when your brother asks for his inheritance, guess what? You're the older son. You got 2/3 of it. Everything I have is already yours. If you wanted to slaughter the fatted calf and have a party with your friends, you could have did it because it's yours. I don't even have anything around here no more. I've given you everything already. Son, you are always with me. Everything I have is yours. But we had to celebrate your brother. We had to celebrate him because he was dead, unresponsive, unregenerated. He couldn't be regenerated again. His heart, unresponsive to the things of God. He was dead, but now he's alive. He was lost in darkness, in sin. He was sinking, but now he's found. We gotta celebrate. We gotta celebrate. If we don't celebrate him, son, who's gonna celebrate him? If we don't tell him we appreciate him, who's gonna tell him? It says the father saw the younger brother while he was still a long way off. Heart posture. And he went to his son in the field, distance, heart posture. The younger son was far off. The older son was far off. But who came close? The father. By his grace and his compassion, he came close to both of his sons. The father found both of his sons, the lost sheep, because he ran to him. He wrapped his arms around him. He kissed his neck and he dressed him. And then he comes to his son in the field and he says, son, man, you're always with me. You're always with me. The father focuses on reconciliation. And it's the cross. Reconciliation with the Father. Reconciliation with one another. Because when God welcomes someone back in the family, you know who's supposed to welcome them in the family? The church. It's just not about New Hope, but it's about all churches. Not trying to qualify and justify who can be there and who can't be there. We a hot mess. All of us stank trash. We suck. But it's the Father who finds us and the Father who restores us to one another. Here's what John Wesley calls it prevenient grace. And what that is it's grace that goes before. Before you can fix it, before you lost it, before you can figure it out, before you get your life together, God is already reaching for you. So if you are a child who has gone astray, God is reaching for you. If you are a child who has stayed in a house, God is reaching for you. It's His grace that is calling you. And guess what? You have the free will to say, no, I don't want that. But it doesn't stop God from reaching. It doesn't stop God from pursuing. It doesn't stop God from being persistent. And as long as there's breath in your lungs, he's running after you. He's running after you. He's coming after you because you're his son. You're his daughter. You're the one he loves, the one he dresses, the one he calls friend. You're the one. You're the lost one. You don't have to run anymore. You don't have to stay lost in the house anymore. You can come home. You can come to the Father. You can come to the Father. Will you be there for the celebration? Will you be there for the celebration of the one you've been praying for? Will you be there for the celebration of your own biological children when they come home? Will you be there for your celebration? Or will you tell the Father, no, thank you? Man, wherever you find I know all of us find ourselves in this text. Only the arrogant and prideful and the stubborn one will sit here under the sound of my voice, what the Lord is speaking right now, and say, no, not me. There's no one like the Lord. There's no one like the Lord. There's no one like the Lord. There's no one like the Lord who knows my secrets, yet he still chooses me. There's no one like the Lord who knows what I'm gonna do next, yet he still chooses me. There's no one like the Lord who knows how much I don't like this and I don't like that, but yet he's still on my side. There's no one like the Lord. Come on, there's no one like the Lord. So we crown him King of Glory. We crown him King of Glory because he's the only one glory is due. Come on. Come on. So wherever you are in the house today, come on, stand to your feet all over the building. The altar is open. The altar is open. The altar is open to reclaim your life. The altar is open to turn from your wicked ways and to come back to God. I'm looking for somebody. I'm looking for somebody. I don't know his name, but your girl just had like carpal tunnel surgery. Is he in the house? Is he in the house? No. The altar is open. The altar is open.